I'm top Orlando Realtor Scott Garrison with ReMax Town Country. We're at 6040 Westgate Drive, Unit 103, Orlando, Florida 32835, in Central Park, Metrowest Condo. That's our unit right there. First floor, 2 bedrooms, 2 baths, $139,000. Built in 1988. Purpose of this video, to give you a feel for what you can't see. If you're just looking at the best pictures online, what's it really look like? Particular videos for some folks out of state. That's our porch there. We'll go on the inside in a minute. We're looking to buy a rental. Trying to get a feel for the neighborhood and the area. We're in West Orlando here. It's a little closer to the theme parks. That's important. It's definitely a good amount of renters here, probably 50%, I'm just guessing. Because these are the kind of units that you end up buying, either if you're a first-time buyer or if you want to rent them out and manage them yourself. So here for 2 bedrooms, 2 baths, 991 square feet. These are nicer, and yet these are also the entry level for a financeable condo. By entry level, I probably mean you can't get anything any cheaper. If it was any cheaper, even $5,000 or $10,000, you wouldn't be able to finance it, and it'd have to be all cash. So if you want to finance something, don't get any cheaper than this. So the neighborhood's fine. It's not luxurious. It's probably nothing that someone would buy to live here unless they're on a limited budget and they're trying to get their first home. I wanted to show you we were walking distance to a nice sized pool as tennis courts. Got a pool and a spa here. Not too far away, literally just a minute walk or so. A lot of people ask, should they get a rental? Should they not? I've been listing and selling real estate here in Orlando every day, full time, for 32 or more years now, more than 32 years. I have rentals like this. I've bought and flipped homes. So from what I've seen in my experience, I believe strongly that everyone should have 1 or 2 rentals. You don't need 10 rentals, but 1 or 2 rentals. Everyone's got some money saved. Everyone talks about diversifying their portfolio. Real estate is the way to do it. For sure. You have some rentals in your town. Anyone can manage 1 or 2 rentals. Can't get that stressful. Anything more than that starts to become a bit of an infrastructure management problem. But everyone should get 1 or 2. And how do I know that? Because I've had lots of people who've bought 2 rentals. I remember I've been doing this my whole life. So then 10 or 15 years later, they call me and they sell their rentals and they pay off their huge house free and clear. And they say, I am so glad I bought those friggin' rentals a couple of years ago. Just make a fortune. Here's why people don't buy rentals. Because everyone's afraid to pull the trigger on everything. It's easy to buy stock. Stocks go up and down. Everyone pretends like real estate can go up and down, but it's only gone down once. One time, that 2008, 2010, since the Great Depression. I mean, it hardly ever goes down. And who cares if it does, because the rents don't go down. And you weren't showing it anyway. Welcome home. 2 bedrooms, 2 baths. And it's about in the condition that we can expect. In other words, unless you're a first-time buyer, on a limited budget, probably nothing you're going to want to live in yourself. Good enough by far if you're just going to rent it out. This is under contract, fell through with an investor, fell through, and now it's back on the market. That looks medium age for sure. It's always going to be a little dirty in there, but it's not newer. So now it's back on. Got a nice sized living room here. Here's a conversation about rentals ultimately, and we're playing the game now. Is this the right one, or is there another one that's the right one? You're not living here. I have a couple of rentals, and I literally, when the tenant just moved out, I hadn't even been inside of it in 3 or 4 years. Why would I go inside? There's nothing I can do. They're renting it. And they moved out. I fixed it up a little bit. So it doesn't matter if I like it. Doesn't matter how I feel. Literally, pick any one. Let's look at all those condos. Pick one, buy it. Don't die. That's the secret to real estate. Buy it and don't die. And 5 years from now, you'll be a genius. If you look at the P&L right now, it doesn't seem to make a lot of sense. It's okay. Buy one, and in 5 years, you'll just feel like you're so smart. It is nice to get something that doesn't feel like it needs a lot of maintenance. But then again, most rentals don't need a lot of maintenance, except between tenants every once in a while. It's definitely seen its better days. Definitely seen its better days. Those are Formica counters, which is about what you'd expect. One of the things when we're on the first floor, a lot of people think they like the first floor. And a lot of people do. And there's some people who can't do stairs. So why are we taking a picture of all that white? Because you will see numerous, multiple patches. See that? When you're on the first floor, someone's going to have a leak. It's going to leak down into yours. Their insurance doesn't cover it. It's insurance claim free. You have to fix it. And when it's a rental, you're just not going to fix it, right? They did an okay job there. They just cut that out and put it in and patched it. But the point is, the only way to do it is to retexture the whole ceiling, which costs $1,800. So it's very common on the first floor. That's a Siemens electrical panel. Definitely is original, as far as I know. Looks like it's still the code. It's not a Federal Pacific panel or anything. But if you're not on the top floor, someone's going to leak down into your apartment eventually. That tends to make that first floor a little bit more hassle to own and rent. However, some people only want first floor. Hardly anyone ever says, I only want the second floor. So it could use a little cleaning and painting, but it doesn't really need to do that. It could use some caulking in the tubs, caulking in the counters, a little bit. One day, probably end up fixing the ceilings. You can see the fixtures are old and original. That's the cheapest entry-level refrigerator. How do I know? I have a condo just like this, needed a refrigerator, and this is almost exactly the one that I bought. They did so cheap, they didn't even buy an ice maker. So of course there's no ice maker here. One less thing to break. Definitely workable. When you're looking for a house to live in, that's totally different than a house you want to rent. And if you're going to rent something like this, buy it, put some tenants in there, don't mess with it. And you'll remember what I said, you'll be a genius in 5 years. I'm top Orlando Realtor Scott Garrison with ReMax Town Country. If I can help you with this or any home here, out here in Metrowest, call me. Sold thousands of homes. I bet you I can help you too. And we didn't go out to the porch. Or maybe we did, but we'll do it one more time. Okay.